Peace and blessings, everyone. Yours truly, Jimmie Williams, again, coming back to you from the beautiful city of Atlanta, Georgia. And I have two special guests with me today. We have some exciting news, and I also want to share with you what I think is really going on with BG Wealth, etc. I want to kind of calm some of you guys down who are, you're in BG Wealth or you're considering joining, and you don't know what to do. You need some answers, okay? And what I really want to tackle today is the power of diversification. The power of having more than one basket and having eggs in several baskets. Truly successful and wealthy people understand this principle and they abide by it. The whole panic that happened with BG Wealth, a lot of our followers and subscribers and people that are in our business, that was the only basket that they had. And so when all the problems happened, and by the way, it's doing very well. It never went down. Okay, those are naysayers and liars, etc. Everybody's able to trade. My wife and I and tons of us, thousands of us were able to trade yesterday. But for those of you who don't understand that principle, you were in panic mode and you don't know what to do because you'll have nothing else that's out there. Well, today I'm going to show you several ways that you can become successful, by diversifying your portfolio. And I'm going to show you several ways to become a millionaire, the legal, legitimate way. But before I do that, I'm going to go over a couple things here. What I'd like to start with is one thing I always do with everyone. And the two guests that I have on, they're really good friends of mine, Justin Hurling and Charles Johnson. But what we're going to do is we're going to declare some things before we get started. I do this on my lives all the time, and I'm going to do it with you. And I want you to hold your hands towards the screen, stretch your hands toward me. We're going to declare some things, okay? No matter what faith you are, you still need to have faith. All right, have faith in our Heavenly Father. Some of you have faith in other things, but we're going to come together and believe for a miracle. But what I'm going to pray right now, I want to declare that we are a wealthy people. And that's important because you have to break down the mindset of poverty. So say this with me out loud. I am wealthy. I can say that.
Wealthy.
I am abundant.
I am abundant.
I am prosperous.
I am prosperous.
I'm blessed to be a blessing to the nation. Say that with me. I'm blessed to be a blessing to the nation. And lastly, I am made in His image. Say that with me. I'm made in His image.
I am made in His image.
And therefore, I have the supernatural ability, say that with me,
supernatural ability
to create life and have the life that I desire. I have the supernatural ability, yes, to create life, to create life and have the life that I desire.
And have the life that I desire.
Amen. In Yahushua's name. When I say Yahusha, some of you don't know that in the Hebrew, but it's Jesus. Amen. So why did I do that? Because sometimes when we're going along in life, there are situations where you don't really understand what's going on, and you don't understand the power that you have to create with your mouth. Thoughts are things, but when you speak them out of your mouth, they become authority. You start creating things. Like the Father, when He spoke, when there was darkness on the face of the deep in Genesis, the Bible says He spoke to the darkness, and it pushed back the darkness, and then light appeared. He said, "Let there be light." Well, we as His children have the ability to say, you know what? I need to start a business. Let me be a millionaire. Let me create this thing over here, and you can do it with words. Just like you create good things, you can create bad things. Fear, doubt, and unbelief. I'm not going to have this. I'm poor and all that. Those are creating things as well. So we're going to show you and teach you how to create the right things. And that takes time. But I wanted to set the atmosphere. So now, here's what I want to talk about. Number 2, let's address what really happened with BG Wealth. A lot of people don't know what happened. And I want to tell you what I think is the cure. And the cure is Aureus. That's what we're going to talk about in a moment. Aureus is the actual vehicle that I believe you can get on. With a one-time silent investment, you don't have to do anything, and you can be rich for many years to come. But let's deal with the elephant in the room. There's a lot of speculation and a lot of false rumors that Aureus, that BG Wealth was a scam, there was a fraud, and it was all these things that they were saying it was. The problem with that statement is the people that were saying that, they were not really good, credible sources. However, there has been investigations and certain things that was going on in certain countries, but at the end of the day, they were able to go public, right? They went public, and if you go on Coinbase, you can see that they're on there and BG Wealth as well, and the truth got mixed up. And so the mixed stories that we got was that you're not going to be able to trade, and everything's frozen. You can't go to the website, and none of those things are true because we've had thousands of people in the last couple of days. They've been able to get their They were able to get their initial investment back, the 12% you paid. You put it in your account. You could trade on it or you can withdraw it. I've had several people told me that they were able to withdraw Queen Arlene, my wife, and I were able to withdraw and trade. We traded 3 times yesterday. The system is still working. And what we forget is, when you get information on the internet, it's a catch-22. Unless the FBI calls you on the phone and tells you this is legit, you don't really have a way of really knowing if it's real or not. And so I'm glad I didn't listen to the naysayers. We waited to the last minute to pay the 12%, but I'm so happy that we did. And those of you who did not, I understand. Some people don't have, $700,000. Like Goggin was level 9, and she from what I'm hearing, she didn't want to pay that 12% fee. All right. So she has $6 million in her account, but she had to come up with 700,000. People like that, I feel like the owner, the company, the ownership, Stephen Beard, they should find a way to help her out. You know what I mean? So I get all that. But those who paid it, I mean, that's a lot of us. Everything's back to normal again. So what I'm saying is, I learned this from a mentor of mine. He said, believe half of what you hear. No, believe none of what you hear and half of what you see, because your eyes can deceive you. All right. So the main thing I want to address, though, is the panic. Everybody was panicking. I'm like, most of the people that panicked, I talked to them. They said, Jimmie, I don't have anything. I have nothing. I don't have $100 to my name. I put my last 2,000 in this. And I said, well, you didn't try to get involved with some real estate. Did you diversify over here? Did you put money in other crypto platforms? And they said no. And that was the panic. Well, if you talk to a really wealthy person or a successful minded person who are in business, even the guys I have on here, they will tell you they have anywhere from 3 to 5 to 7 different things they have their money in. So you don't panic. All right. And what I'm going to show you today is going to really help you take that ease off, and so you won't be so nervous and you won't be so like afraid to go home and tell your wife you lost everything. I've been there too. My wife and I have lost things like more than one time. We've been homeless twice. And I know what it's like to go and tell your wife, I lost the last investment. I know what that feels like. But after today, that'll be gone, all right? I want you guys to take a deep breath and put your thinking caps on. Like I always tell you guys, be critical with your thinking. Don't just believe everything you hear. I'm going to show you something today that's going to really blow your mind, and you're going to want to get a pen and a piece of paper and write it down, okay? I'm going to bring Justin on in just a moment here, but let me talk about something else here. There are 3 ways, in my opinion, to become a millionaire without actually having to have extraordinary talent like LeBron James and Kobe, or being an actor like Denzel Washington, or an inventor, you know what I mean, or a writer. Those people that have those amazing abilities to create their wealth with their talent. And I've discovered them, and I want to share them with you. Okay, here's the number 1 way, which is very, very seldom. Most people don't have this one. Somebody in your family creates the wealth, and it gets passed down to you. You inherit it. So let's say you inherit $1 million, right? Well, $1 million is not $1 million anymore. Let's be honest. It's probably worth about $400,000. It's not where it used to be with all the taxes and what's going on with inflation and all those things, right? Well, if you had $1 million today and you said, Jimmie, what can I do to make this money grow and I can earn interest from it? I would advise you to do something like, maybe a mutual fund. Okay, a mutual fund, you put $1 million in there, and they put your money into several different stocks, and you know what I mean? And so they can pay you a monthly, it pays you like a salary. It pays you a small percentage yearly of maybe 5%, so 5%, on $1 million, or, 60, maybe 6%. If you're lucky, you can get 6%. That's $60,000 a year, or $5,000 a month. Okay. And if you could do that, my guess is most of you don't have $1 million sitting around. You can live on that money and let it build interest over time. All right. Number 2, you could buy a property. Now, Charles and I, we understand how real estate works. If you were to buy a property for $1 million and you don't have the inherit, you haven't inherited the money, then you got to go out and get a loan for it. All right. If you get a loan for $1 million, you buy $1 million building and it has a 7% cap. I was just talking to him about this. You'll make $70,000 a year, right? So to be the average, it's equivalent to having over $1 million in the bank, right? Because you're making $70,000 a year, which is 7% per year on that property. But here's the caveat: you got to borrow a loan. The loan may be another $30,000 a year. So now instead of you making $70,000 a year, you're making $40,000. So now you're not even really a millionaire yet. You need to buy 2 properties like that. You need to get 2 loans for about $2 million. When you pay those loans back, if you got 2 properties at 7% cap, it's that's $140,000 a year. But half of that money is going back to the bank. So to be a millionaire with property, you need $2 million properties where you're paying, they have to be like 7% interest rate, a 7% cap, and you got to pay that loan back at the same time. So you will make, maybe, I don't know, $5,000 or $6,000 a month. You know what I mean on that, but you got to. That's pure profit after you pay everybody back, right? So most people don't understand real estate, right? Here's something else you can do. You can buy gold, silver. We're going to get into gold, a company that's producing gold, and they're doing a fantastic. Well, not producing gold, they're digging for gold, and they have a program where they go to all these different countries in Africa, and they literally have gold, and you buy into the company's shares, okay? And those shares are somewhat, I don't want to use the word eternal, but they're willable and you can pass them down the family. So it's almost like you're buying into a multi-million-dollar business, right? Or a Fortune 500 company, and you instantly have assets that you can with the assets you basically get paid dividends. So if I have 1,000 shares in Apple, right? Whatever they pay me quarterly, I still get some dividends on those things. I can be rich just on owning the shares, and that's what we have here. So we know gold and silver, they don't lose their value. That's where I'm going with this, okay? So that's another way to be a millionaire. You can find a way to invest in pure metals, but a lot of people, it's tough for them because they don't have the money up front to invest. So what's good about Aureus, you're going to find out, is it's low barrier of entry. All right. So a share typically, can be $2,000, $3,000 with gold, and you can get them for as low as $40 a share. We're going to talk about that. All right. I bought mine a few months ago at $20 per share. All right. And I only got 10 shares, and then I built a huge business. And so based on the work ethic of what I produced, I have 128 shares. I'm set for life. Next year, if I do nothing with the 128 shares, just on my dividends, I'll have over, I don't know, $70,000 coming in. I get $19,000 in January, $19,000 in April. Yeah, $77,000, $19,000 in October, July, $19,000 in October. So 4 times that year, if I do nothing else, I'm set. The next year, my dividends increase to like $150,000 for that year. And I did the work one time. That's the thing about when you buy a business or you own something. If it's paying profit, you build it one time the right way, and you keep getting paid. Well, that's how it is when you invest in gold. It's like you're investing in Apple or Amazon or something like that. All right. So I talked about the ways to become a millionaire. There's another way you can do it, and this is a way I'm gonna be teaching a class on it. Some of you guys are already my mastermind students, but this is going to be what I call mastermind elite, where you can become what I call a super affiliate. Okay. A super affiliate, where you understand the power of selling, products and services from other companies that are already established. But you can go in and say, hey, listen, I want to drive traffic to my website for your product, and every time I sell it, I want a commission. That's what I did with Orus. Even though I got shares, I made 15 grand with Aureus since February. I'm gonna show you my back office in a minute, guys, so you can see it for yourself before I bring Justin on here. But I made about 15,000. My biggest month, I got paid. I became the top affiliate last month. Justin will tell you this. And I was supposed to get 12 grand, but they changed the commission structure. But I made almost $7,000 in 1 month just sharing this opportunity. When you understand how to be a super affiliate, you can take any product or service and market it the right way. And here's what I believe in. The product must do what it says it can do. The company must have integrity, and I must be able to get paid. I got to get paid good if I'm going to promote it, right? So it's got to do what it says it's going to do. So when I sell it to somebody, because of the integrity I have, it has to do what it says, right? Orus Gold does that. I put a link out there. People bought their own shares. I have some people that I have one guy that bought like 500 shares, and he's got those shares, and he's a multimillionaire just by the value of the shares, right? Orus paid me hefty. They pay me 10%. If anybody spends 10 grand to buy shares, they pay me 1,000. And I think that's fair, right? So it does what it says. They pay me like they're supposed to, and they have integrity. They keep their word. So if you want to be a virtual millionaire, you can do it by being a super affiliate. And I have a class. I'm going to probably teach that class next month. If you want to be a part of that, then let me know. Just inbox me and say, Jimmie, I want to be a part of that super affiliate class. It's a year-long class, and it's well worth the price. I'm not going to discuss price because I always build value first. All right. Now, Justin, get ready. I'm going to bring you on here. What else I want to share here? There's one other way you can become, a millionaire there's two other things I want to share. The main thing you can do if you don't have any rare talent, you can learn a craft. You can be a coach. You can learn something really, really good. And when you're really good at it, now you start yourself like a website, and you start, a subscription, So let's say, you could teach people how to write books, or you could teach them how to be an author, right? Or you can teach them how to be a speaker. What you do is you create a website, you start, classes like 3 or 4 times a month, have a monthly subscription, have them pay like $99 a month, right? So if you have 50 clients that do that, that's $5,000 a month. You are what I would call a virtual millionaire. Why? Because you're making $5,000 a month, which is $60,000 a year. That's equivalent to having $1 million sitting in an account somewhere with mutual funds or something like that. That's a virtual millionaire where you created that. Again, it goes back to this ability to create things, all right? You take the best talent that you have and you create something with it, all right? So if you're interested in that, I teach that in the class too, in the class where I teach you how to be a super affiliate, but you got to use what you have and make this kind of money. So most people don't have $1 million sitting around, all right? When you see what we do at Orus, you're going to find out for a few $1,000s, $5,000 or $10,000, your life was going to change dramatically. You'll never have to work again if you know exactly what you're doing, all right? And you don't sell your shares, you live on the dividends, all right? I'm going to take now I think I'm done with that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to show you, I've been talking here, but let me show you guys the profit that I've made. Let me share my screen real quick because I want you to see that this is legit. This is real. And then we're going to have Justin come on and speak. Hang on 1 second, family. Here we go. All right. That's not what I wanted to show you. That's something else. That's Charles, I can hear something in the background. That's probably me giving you feedback. All right, here we go. So this is my back office here. All right. You can see the shares are currently $40 per share. They'll be $45 soon. 25 days left at that price. I remember 3 months ago I got them at $20 a share a couple months ago. If you look here, this is the amount of money. That's my current market value of my portfolio right now as we speak. All right. This is how much money I made. $15,819.93. Right. Again, I only had 10 shares at $20 a piece.
Absolutely.
I began to build my team. Right. And so I have a pretty big team. So by working hard, I have 128 shares. The amount I have to withdraw right now is $18 because I withdraw almost every day, guys. I take some money out of here every day. But I want you to see this: 128 shares in 2026. It's going to start paying me in July. So if you guys see this video, you get in today, you probably won't get dividends in July. Your first dividend payout will probably be October. All right. So that's $4,600 I'm going to get, right? I'm going to get $9,000 this year based on something I did one time. All right. Dramatic pause. When people see this number here, they think that's how much the shares are worth. No, they're worth about $40 a share now, but that's how much I'm going to make yearly on each share. So for instance, in July, even though we're paying $40 a share now, the market can fluctuate. So each share in July is going to be at least $36.21. You times that by 128 shares, and that's how you get this number here. Okay. Same thing in October. And the goal is 1,200 kilograms per year. All right. Now here's what's interesting. Look at this, guys. I don't do any more work. Let's go to 2027. My screen's moving a little slow here. All right. Check this out. The shares will be worth about $151 in January. Annually, that's what I'm going to make on each share. So I'm going to make 151 times 4 per share. All right. So in January, they're going to pay me almost 20 grand. Think about that. How many of you can take that and say, you know what? You can go to your boss and say, I made 20,000 this month. I don't make that in 6 months. I'm going to fire you today. You can do that kind of stuff. All right. And that's what I'm going to do here. But you work once, you get paid for life. Right. Look at this, guys. 2028 election year. Let's say I do nothing. Look at what I made that year. $155,000. All right, 2029. This is assuming I just hold on to my shares, right? 2029. Yes, you saw that right. In 2029, a year after the election, based on 128 shares, you remember the value increases 2,500 kilograms per month, over $1,800 per share for that year. 58 grand in January. 58 grand in April, July, October. This is legit, guys. There's nothing like it. Let me just tease you guys for a minute. 2035, let's say I decide to sit on it. Because remember, we got multiple streams of income here. You do it once, you get paid forever, right? If I leave in there for 10 years, they're going to pay me $775,000. Look at that. For that year. 2 big payouts. $387,656 in April and once in October. This is the way to go, all right? I want to show you guys some other things here, but I think the time is far spent. I want to show you one last thing here, and it's an email that I got so I can show you. Again, if you want to be a super affiliate, it's not hard. You just got to know one thing, how to market your product and service. How do you get it in front of the right people, all right, and let them make their own decision. I got this email back April 13th, all right, during phase 5. Congratulations, Jimmie Williams. You've officially won first place in the phase 5 Gold Diggers Club competition. We have credited your account $6,531. That's just for sharing this thing. If you want to be a super affiliate, now listen, I know you guys, some of y'all you're nervous about what's going on with BG Wealth and all these other. Diversify. Learn how to take your destiny in your own hands. You can only do that when you learn how to take products and services, even though they're not yours, and know how to get them in front of massive amount of people. That's what you got to do, okay? So, having said that, I'm going to turn this back over to my brother, Justin. Before I do that, Charles, guys, you see him on all of my platforms. You saw him on BG Wealth. Everything I asked him to do, he just said, you know what, Jimmie, put me on to that thing. Put me on to it. I want to be a part of it. Charles has 160 shares, guys, over that. So you can imagine what his paycheck's going to look like. Charles, you getting paid that bread, brother, all right? But I want you to share with people your experience as an investor and as someone who's actually promoting this, and just let everybody, do they pay and are they legit?
Yes, definitely. So, when I joined Aureus Gold, what got me excited was, the video that you actually sent me. Okay. When I looked at the shares, and I think when I got in, it was $30. It was 25 actually. 25, okay. End of the month, and then 30. I paid the rest. But I got in, bought some shares, and then I started telling people about it, and I started becoming an affiliate. Yeah. I just signed somebody up yesterday. You did? Wow. Okay. The other day I just got commission some money. It just popped up in my email. I got commission money. Right. I was shocked. I'm like, man, I'm really loving this gold opportunity. Right. It's pretty interesting, when I look at it, not only, it's providing, it's creating generational wealth. It's the fact that you can actually be an affiliate and get money as well from commissions. Absolutely. And it's exciting. And, it's an investment. When I think about gold and Bitcoin, gold is it's definitely a value commodity, Right. So it's definitely interesting. It's been a great ride. That's why diversification matters, and I think that it's been a great investment. I'm happy about it. I'm looking to get some more before it gets bought. Yeah, I know you are. And bro, guys, this guy don't just talk it. He'll talk one time, and he's gonna act on it. And that's a millionaire trade. That's a billionaire, gazillionaire trade. If it takes you more than 30 seconds, once you get all the facts to say, I gotta think about it, you don't have that gene. He has that gene in him where I'm gonna do this thing. You got that gene, bro. You know what I mean? And he outdoes me in everything. We're in Bytnex. And I, formerly Cryptex, I started buying contracts. I got 100, he got 130. I mean, he don't play. He's very competitive, and it's his will to win. If you guys can take anything from Charles, it's his ability to see opportunity and seize the moment. Don't talk about it. He bees about it. I know I was a little country when I said that, but he's about it. He just put his money where his mouth is, and if he doesn't have it, he's gonna borrow it. He's gonna find a way to get it. Now, before I bring Justin on, there's one little. I want to share this with everybody. Charles was with me many years ago. You guys saw I talked about it. We got him like $330,000 in funding, and he went and bought 2 assets. He bought property, and he's still living one of the properties today. But I told him, I said, you want to be able to hire a team to go gather to pick up the money and all that stuff. You don't want to be having to do that yourself. And this morning he had to go talk to a tenant and say, listen, you got to get out of here.
You know what I mean? Because the person's not paying their rent. And so if you can't keep up your end of the bargain, this is with anything, then there's an expiration date on it, you know? And I like the fact that he's so proactive. He don't wait around. He said, I'm gonna go over there myself and see them. Guys, when you talk about your dreams and goals, you can't just let the enemy take from you. You got to go and do something about it, you know? And that's what I love about you, man. You have that integrity. You have that tenacity and fortitude. That's what you have. That's the gift you really have, on top of being a savvy investor. And, you know, you're a savant when it comes to real estate and investing. You know, you have a strong business IQ, and it's commendable, man. So now, yeah. Having said that, guys, listen, make your own decision, but I want you to hear through this presentation by Justin. Justin's the guy who was he got my Valtoro downline. Y'all saw what happened with Valtoro. We lost a lot of money there. But again, we don't stick with one thing. We keep going. He came back to me and said, Jimmie, this gold thing is a life changer. I'm like, yeah, if it's gold, bring it on. And he sent it to me, and I haven't looked back since. And we just built our team. I threw the link out there. People start signing up. And Justin is a wealth of information. He knows the owners more than I do. JP was the vice president, and Donovan and Joe, the whole team. He knows what they're doing over there. He's in conversation with them. But he's going to come on and give us a brief breakdown on what this is, because I have a long video. It's 2 hours long, but most people don't got that kind of time. But you got 10 minutes to listen to what he's got to say and then make a decision. But Justin's he's an awesome guy. He's a mastermind. And next week, we're going to be doing a private mastermind with something he's launching. I'm a partner with him, his own platform, okay, where you guys can make some really good profits, all right? Without further ado, Justin, come on, my man. I want them to hear what you got to say, okay?
Hi, Jimmie. Yep. Good evening, Charles. Mm-hmm. And to all the listeners and the viewers out there, thank you for the opportunity once again to share with you this opportunity for you to get out of your situation and to grow yourself into a new place, you know, financially, spiritually, emotionally, for your family, for your well-being. And so before I just give you the gist of Aureus, what I want to tell you is that, you know, there's a scripture in the Bible that says that he who saves up money little by little will make it grow. It doesn't say he who makes a lot of money, you know, it says he who saves it, and that's right, little by little, you know. And so I think the older I'm getting, the more we're working with money and we're learning how money works. We learn that when you introduce to money and to wealth and to everything else, everybody's out there to make money. Everybody's working to make money. But we have to come to the place where we learn to see how money works and then get it to work for you. You know, that's the bottom line, to get the money to actually work for you while you're sleeping, and then to grow it slowly, not quickly, not try to get overexcited, and then be strategic when you plant it. Right. And I think Aureus is one of the platforms that we're looking at, that I've invested in, that Jimmie's involved in and Charles is involved in. I see Aureus as one of the foundational platforms that you should get involved in. First of all, let's just make it clear. Aureus is not a financial opportunity. It's not about making money. It's ownership. And if you look at yourself and say you're going to be an owner, you're not buying a portion in an investment or a DSJ or this other companies. You're actually owning. When you buy the share, you own real ownership, real production with real equipment, real land. You're not an onlooker or a spectator and they're doing it all. You're actually part of the company. You are owner in the company. And that makes a huge difference. And that means that being an owner in a company is basically you buying partnership, you're buying shares in the company, and that share certificate that you hold represents your ownership. And because you own shares in that company, you receive real production-based dividends, and it really impacts all communities. So this is not a gold mining concept. The vision is to build gold-backed impact venture that gives ordinary people the opportunity to participate as shareholders. Okay, so you're an ordinary person. You can participate as a shareholder and be part in helping communities through job creation, education, clean water, food support, healthcare, and sustainable development. That's what your shares are actually doing. Your shares not just making gold and you can sell it and make money. Your shares building communities. It's changing lives, and it's bringing breakthrough to millions of people throughout Africa. And that's something my heart is good. I'm a pastor. I love being part of something that will change lives for good. And what better to use also the financial breakthrough in people's lives. So let me start with the ownership side. Aureus is presenting shares through a structured company model. It's described as a CIPC registered par value share. That means CIPC is the company that registers companies, the company registrar in South Africa. It registers, it gives the company legitimacy, it gives you your tax number, it gives you everything else as any other state here would do when you're registering your company. The purpose is to give the shareholders legal ownership in Aureus Alliance Holdings. So your shares gives you ownership in Aureus Alliance Holdings, and it's the gold mining operations. So when I talk about Aureus, I'm not just talking about people giving money into an idea. I'm talking about a structure where shareholders are meant to own a part of the company and participate in the long-term growth of the venture. So the first major project was started in Dodoma in Zimbabwe on a 250-hectare greenfield site. And it's already up and running. There are wash plants up and running, and it's already busy producing. We are a bit behind because we were supposed to have it up and running in January, but because of flooding during January and February, and the equipment could not be brought to the site, they could only start now in March-April month. And so we're getting our first dividend still in June, but it's not as much as we expected originally because of the timeline and the flooding. You must understand, we are not paying people from your money. We're not taking your money and paying investors and paying shareholders from your money. Your money's working the land, your money's working the machinery and the equipment, and based on the production of that specific field, you are being paid dividends. So the dividends will vary according to the amount of wash plants. So the plan was to start mining in January. We unfortunately ran two months behind with 2 eco-friendly gold wash plants, which are up and running. The goal is to scale by June. We are in June. We're going to June. The target is around 20 wash plants. And by December 2026, the target is about 30 wash plants. Now, just remember, based on that target, you're going to be seeing the gold production increase annually. The aim is eventually for Aureus to own 200 wash plants. Therefore, my brother Jimmie could show you 2027's projections, because that's what's projected for the 200 wash plants. And every year, as the price of gold, which has forever since the beginning of creation, gold has stayed consistent. Gold price has always gone up.
Yep,
and gold is backed by countries use gold to back their currencies. So we're looking at a good place for all of us. Then from 2027 onward, the projection is to produce a minimum of 3.5 tons of gold per year. At the current rate of gold price is about $160,000 per kilogram. There's 1,000 kilograms in a ton. So you can do the calculations. If you have a calculator, you can take 160,000 and times it by 3.5 tons, which is actually 3,500 tons of gold.
Wow!
So now, what I'm about to show you is the presentation. There is more than enough money to pay out the investors and the shareholders. The wash plants are presented as eco-friendly, which means we don't go lower than 80 centimeters in the ground. It's eco-friendly. When we're done using that section of the land, it's restored completely. So the goal is not to destroy the land, but to mine responsibly, report transparently, and restore the land properly. So you're part of an eco-friendly gold mining opportunity with your company. This is your company. You can tell yourself, I've got a company. People speak to you, say, hey, I own a company. I've got shares in my company. It's my company, because you're the owner. Dividends are payments from company profits. Aureus has to mine gold and other minerals. Now, Aureus won't be just mining gold. Every time they're mining the gold, there are other minerals that are also valuable. Rare minerals, you're going to have silver, platinum. There might be some copper and other processes that come out of the same process. And so there will be obviously more opportunities to create more streams of income from the same land that you are working. We can process them, sell them, pay operating expenses, and whatever profit remains can be divided among the shareholders. This is very important, so we all understand it. I'm just going to go a bit further. So the strength of this presentation is it connects dividends to real gold production, not speculation. We are not taking a chance. We're not sending out a survey. We're not sending out people to check out the land first. It's already done. Everything is done. The gold field is registered. Everything, the licenses are up and running. The government is backing it. Things are working out. The wash plants are on site and they're working already the land so that you can get paid. So as a shareholder, you are positioned to have real equity ownership. You may receive dividends for as long as you own your shares. For as long as you own your shares, you will be receiving payouts if profits are available. So what does it mean? Let's say June month next year, there's a flood. Okay, so now the machines are not working. Okay, don't cry about it, because in the next 3 months you will be paid again once the water level sets. That's the real life that you have to have something that mitigates every circumstance, and you have to be aware of it. Okay,
right.
So there are going to be times where the production might be low because 7 days of the month it was raining hard. Okay, and then the next 21 days, good to go. And there might be one day where they mine so well that they mine all the month's supply in one day because of the good place that they struck. You know?
Okay.
So we need to be aware of the situation when you're working a real company, because companies have that. They have good days and bad days, but there's always money coming in, and that's the bottom line. You also have control over your shares. The presentation says we're going to show you that shareholders can hold, you can transfer or sell your shares once the marketplace conditions are met. Okay. Once Aureus tells us, hey, we've reached our cap, we've sold all our shares, you are more than welcome to trade your shares now and sell it at the par value of 1,000. Now, let's say the price of your shares has gone up. Let's say your dividends are paying you out 20,000 for the year. Let's say one share is over $2,000. Would you sell that share for $1,000? No, it doesn't make sense. You know that the share is worth 2,000. People are going to trade for that share and say, hey, I want your share, because that 2,000 represents 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, because it's going to be paying that person who's purchasing that share for the rest of their life. So somebody that's very intelligent is going to say, hey, when the guy says, I'm not making him, I want to make 20,000 now. I'll sell all my 20 shares. I'll buy it from you. I'll buy it from you because I understand the value of what we got. Okay. The long-term plan is to control up to 6,000 hectares of mineral-rich land across Africa by 2035. The goal is also to launch 20 new wash plants per year, okay, and eventually scale toward 100 tons of annual gold production. Aureus and Sun, the partner company, they plan to build eco-world smart villages, and these villages are intended to support communities, like I said, with job, food,
that's good.
Clean water, in energy, clinics, schools, and education. Now let's go to your affiliation side. Let's look at what we got. So Aureus is presenting the Goldback Impact Venture, the shareholders' ownership, production-based dividends, sustainable development, and community upliftment. The key pillars are real gold. It's real shares. You can get in a plane, you can fly to Dodoma, Zimbabwe, and you can see them what they're doing. And I'm sure they're going to come a time where they're going to open it up to shareholders to fly over. I know a lot of you want to go to South Africa and Africa on a safari. Well, you can put that as part of your plan when you got all your dividends and your money is locked in. Take a trip to Africa. You know, many of you have never been to Africa. Use it as an opportunity and then go visit the sites. While you're doing it, look at the elephants. Just make sure you don't jump out of your Jeep when the lions are lying under the tree. Because some people think the lions are pets. The lions are not pets. They're real lions. Okay, real gold, real shares,
lions,
real ownership, real mining, real community. Yeah, there was somebody that came to Africa sometime, that Japanese photographer. He was told by the game ranger, you need to stay in the Jeep.
He didn't listen.
The lions were lying under the tree. The lions were lying under the tree resting. He took a camera, jumped out, took some pictures, and there was no more photographer.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy, man.
There was nothing left of it. There was nothing left of it. And for me, the most important thing is that this must be communicated responsibly. Okay? If you're going to share this with somebody, please make sure you make them understand this is ownership. They're going to own something. You can give it to your daughter, your grandchild, generation. You can pass it down. There's an opportunity for you. When you fill out the forms, you'd be able to do KYC, your AML, anti-money laundering details, And then also you're going to have to put down somebody as a next of kin in case anything happens to you, that they can pass the shares on to them. So this is a real opportunity for everybody. You definitely will be making a lot of money from it. And just a fact, okay? If you buy 10 shares today, let's say, look, let's be honest with you, this price is not going to stay there for long. It's 25 days left. And I can tell you now, according to the grapevine, we have some serious investors that want to buy out all the shares. And what the company's done, the company's held them back. You know, they're like a pack of wolves. You know, they smell the blood. $40 for a share worth $1,000. Yep. Who's not going to jump for that? If you got $1 million, you can buy everything, you know? But they don't want that. They want you and I to have an opportunity to engage and to be a part of the project for our families generationally. So I want to invite you today. Think about it for a second. What would $40 cost you, you know, in today's terms? Basically, you can go buy yourself a hamburger, you know, buy yourself a burger and a Coke.
Right.
Right. There's no more money left. So all I want to encourage you to do is think about it for a second. If $400, which is 10 shares, can change your life and make you have income every 3 months, perpetually, you know, as an owner of a company. Now, what does ownership mean? It means as the price goes up, the value of your share can be used as collateral at the bank. You can take your shares and say, I've got a shares that's worth $100,000 because it's worth $1,000. Once they have given you the go ahead, go to the bank. Your shares are worth $1,000. You can take it. You can transfer it. Say, go to the bank. Say, I want to put this down as a deposit, or I want to lock it away as security. I want to take a loan against it. And I want to buy myself a house. You know,
wow.
I'm not giving up my shares. You know, I'm just using it as collateral to secure in finances for me to do other projects. But just remember, you can pay off whatever loan you have because you're getting dividends.
That's good.
Do you understand?
That's good.
That's great.
So you have to think, if you think economically, business-wise, use it as leverage, as a tool to leverage yourself. Leverage. Think of the word leverage and say, okay, I'm going to buy myself 10 shares every month. By the time we come to the end of the year, I'm going to have 500 shares, 200 shares. And then you leverage those shares. 100 will be for me permanently. Another 100 I'm going to use for collateral to finance myself in whatever I want to do. You know, so think like that. So it's important that you get some financial education and economic, work out your taxes, work out everything on paper, but have a plan. You know, have a plan. Don't just say I'm owning shares, I'm getting the money, because as the money comes in, what you're going to do with that money? Use that money to build more collateral in other ventures, collateral in property, build collateral. Always saving little by little, and don't take up the 90% and go buy yourself a Lamborghini. And Don't do that.
Right.
Take 10%, spend it on yourself. Take 90% and reinvest. You know, take 10%. So always have a model where you say, I'm only going to pay myself a salary from this. I don't own all that money, because if you really want to live the lifestyle that you want in the future, you basically don't eat your
your seed, right? Your
harvest, the seed,
right?
Right. No, your seed. You know. If your seed if it's meeting your need, then it's still seed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Grow it until you can come to a place where you eventually can settle down. So thank you for the opportunity. I hope you guys will jump onto Jimmie. Jimmie has really been doing very well as a witness, I can say, with Aureus. Every time I look at his account, I have to tell him, hey, Jimmie, you're number one. He didn't even know he was winning. He didn't even know. He had 192 people under him. And I thought, my God, does this man know what's going on? And besides the bonuses and because if you sign up somebody under you, you receive 10%, number one, in cash, and 5% in fractional shares. So if you sign up 10 people today and you sign them up, and each one of them buy 1 share or 10 shares, you're going to make 10% in cash, in USDT, transferred back to you in your back office immediately, because these guys don't play. They pay you one time. They never ever miss the payment. And you receive 5% fractional shares from every person that's purchased under you. And therefore, just by sitting in that position, your shares are growing. So even if you bought 20 shares, but you bought in 10 people, and they all put in $1,000, you'd be making, first of all, $100 times 10, that's $1,000, and $500 in fractional shares. And just by sitting in that position, you come home If you receive 500 fractional shares, you divide it by $40, you're sitting on almost 20 shares. At 20 times 50 is how much? It's around 10 shares. You're sitting with an extra amount of shares that you never had before.
Exactly.
Just because you hit the thing. So I want to encourage you today, while you're listening and watching this program, don't hesitate. The Bible says he who hesitates is lost.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it says.
Tossed away to and fro. Make a decision. Say, you know what? I'm locking this in. I'm putting my foot forward, and I'm not going to invest more than I'm prepared to lose. Okay? You're not going to come here and say, hey, you told me to do this. No. Everything is at their own risk.
Yep.
We are not financial advisors. This is a disclaimer straight up, you know?
That's
so you know that we're not here to tell you what to do. We don't handle your money. We don't tell you where to put your money. We don't tell you how much to put in, but we encourage you to make decisions that will help you and further your goal. So be wise, you know? Be wise with your finances. Do it properly. Ask for help if you need help. And thank you. God bless you all.
That was an amazing presentation, brother.
That was great.
It was great. Yeah. Justin, you are the man. He didn't show us anything. He was reading from his whatever he was doing on his end, but it was so clear. A 5-year-old can come in and say, you know, I understand that. And that's what I tell you about presenting. If a 5-year-old can't understand it, then you don't understand it yet, and you can't teach it or you can't explain it. But he's so good at that, man. Charles, you have any questions for him? That the audience might want to hear.
I'm excited. I mean, the only thing I would ask is so the deadline. So it's going to really be 2 weeks in regards to them buying up the shares, or it's still up in the air, give or take, in regards to being able to purchase more shares.
Okay, so that information, Jimmie's got a full. We got the 25 days on this $40 amount. The current information that Jimmie has is advanced information. I don't have that information yet. He already has it. Okay. You can just expound more about that detail that you said about him.
Yeah, somebody that's deep inside, and it's the guy that actually paid. He's the one that works like right next to Donovan and JP. You know, JP's dad, Johan. He's a good guy, and he's never lied to me yet. He said to me, he said, Jimmie, I'm going to advise you. Send me a voice note. I'm going to advise you to gather all your people together and go ahead and buy as much as you can. I said, why? He said, because there's some investors that they were holding off in the beginning. They want to come in and buy everything. But he said they didn't work with them in the beginning, but now they want to because they're putting up all the funds for the equipment. And, you know, when an investor goes above and beyond to do some extra things, then that company will be like, you know what, this is what we need right now. And so I said, well, how much time do you have? He said, well, I would say it could be in the next month, he said, next few weeks to a month or something like that. But they're in talks right now. I think they're going to do it, but I'm just saying I don't know how long it takes for everything to be signed and everything's done. But according to him, he said it could be by the end of the month or something like that. So I said, well, I said I have people that's been thinking. He said, tell them don't think anymore. They better get on it because once they buy them, like you said, their majority stake. Now they can make more decisions, and we can't really buy any more shares. I said, then I asked him this. Are my shares secure? Because I want to know. He said, yeah, your shares are secure, you know, because you own them. And he did tell me he has quite a bit of shares. I won't say what he has, but he does a lot of hard work to help make sure we get paid. He's the guy that pays us on time when we get those commissions. That's that dude. He's good. But he said, don't waste any time.
Just a little.
Yep. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I just to encourage you, Charles. You just made $165,000 if they buy up all the shares in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yep. You guys can hear me?
So if we can use that as a marketing tool, say, hey, you only got 2 weeks with a big thing at flash, 2 weeks emergency buy shares now, 2 weeks left before full buyout happens. We would see a spike like you won't believe.
Yeah, Justin, my internet went out. So say that again to Charles.
I said if we could create, Charles. Obviously, I said to you, in the next 2 weeks, if that happens, then you are sitting with $160,000 worth of shares.
Wow.
Real value, going. You know. Yeah. Wow. Secondly, I want to share this with you. I just want to share this with you. If you could create, Jimmie, a flash that says emergency buy. Now, I am. 2 weeks left. For conglomerates buy out all the shares of Orus Gold.
I'm going to
now. You know. Yeah. We're gonna see a spike like you won't believe. You know what I mean?
Of course.
And I just want to encourage you, Charles. Let me share this with you.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
everything that we're doing at the moment, and Jimmie can tell you, everybody helps one another. We all assist one another. You know? There's no greed, there's no selfishness, even though we're all making money.
Right.
I've never experienced anything with Jimmie that has ever been anything but decent, respectful, and honest, you know? And I just want to encourage you, it's who you work with that makes the difference. The wealth that you're making is not the money, it's the people.
Exactly.
Because this wealth you can't purchase. You can't put the money to relationship. You know? And as we're working together in different projects, we're going to fail here, we're going to win there, but we slowly, all of us are moving forward, you know? And when the one breaks through, it's easy for everybody else to break through. And that's how we see it, you know? I'm simple like that. So I'm hoping that today you would be successful. Jimmie would be successful to at least draw another 50 to 100 people can sign up under you guys and get going, you know? I know it's going to happen. I know you guys are very good in what you're doing, and I see the fruits of really in this relationship. So keep on pushing because we are going to win. You know, we need a win.
Absolutely.
DSJ, I'm not negative about DSJ. You won't but I'm very cool.
Right.
Number one, I don't know the owner. You know, I'm simple. I introduced Jimmie straight away with the owner.
He sure did.
You know?
Yep.
And any question Jimmie's ever had, you could speak to them directly.
I have their information. You know? I talked to Donovan.
There's no holding back information. There's no contacts and all this. And,
right.
Anything where you don't have connection with people. It's not about the opportunity. Sometimes the opportunity is brilliant, but then it's the people that let it down.
The
people are amazing, but the opportunity is messed up. You know what I mean? It's good to find a key balance, and what you've done is amazing to keep this relationship. So well done. Thank you very much for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, we know the owners, and they're not. My computer froze again. Hang on, guys. Can y'all still hear me? It just froze. Wait a second for it to come back. The internet's in and out here.
Justin, definitely. You know, you're very knowledgeable. You know, in the space. You know. Yeah. Very excited the breakdown, the detail.
I've had my fair share of losses, you can tell you know. But I've never ever looked down on. I've always made friends with the owners of projects. Even though they lose, I always make friends with them. And because they're all human beings. And not a lot of them don't intend for things to go the way that it does. You know, systems crash, things go, people lose. And that's just important to build relations, because the next time that same person, you know, Abraham Lincoln said this. He said, "Success is a result of many failures." You know?
Well said.
And I believe in that. I believe that if you come to me, I would do business with any guy that's failed more than he's won.
Oh my goodness!
Oh man, me and Jimmie, we failed a lot. You know, we won a lot too, but
if you win too much, if you just only know wins, I'm not doing business with you.
The t-shirt.
There must be something wrong with you.
We're some warriors. We are investing warriors.
Right. But I'm gonna tell you, it started right here. We just kept this how we all think, and you know, we refuse to quit. You know what I mean? And I feel when I look at BG Wealth and I see people that get involved, they don't really understand how business works. And one thing goes bad, they think the world is that way and everybody's a scammer, and not understanding that goes with the territory, man. That's part of it. You don't invest anymore, you can lose. If everybody won, everybody would be on that side, wouldn't they? Come on. You know?
Can I give you crypto tip number one?
Sure.
This is crypto tip number one. You don't ever forget this, no matter what you do.
Yeah.
Always take profit. Always take profit.
Always take profit.
If you come to me and tell me I got $1 million, I grew my money, and I say, how much times have you taken profit? You say, no, I'm growing my money. You're the stupidest guy in the world, because I will make sure that the money I put in, I'm taking out.
Did you hear that? Wow, that's powerful.
That's right.
To all the listeners out there,
if I go into a private meeting with you guys and tell you how much money I've really lost and how I lose it, you'd see that the amount of money I put in compared to and how much it grew to and what I took out. I already recovered my money.
You recovered his money.
So I never ever. And a lot of people I do business with, when they put in money, they always want to put in a big amount all the time to prove that they can do it and they can.
I gotcha.
When I speak to them, I say maybe put in $500, $100.
right. Test it, right.
Add slowly to it, grow it. You know, No, 5,000.
They want to put
10,000. There they go. You know.
Yeah.
And then they come to me when the things, and I don't take the money. They do it themselves.
Of course.
And so when it happens, I always tell them, listen, whatever you do, you are making the decisions. I'm not telling you what to do.
Absolutely.
But when you do stuff like that, they come crying to you, and that's how I have to get to know owners of the projects. Because then I have to call the owners, get involved with the owners, go on to their Zoom calls, meet them,
of course.
and then ask them what's going on. And that's how they learn to trust me, because they say, okay, I can see where you're coming from. You know, and that's how you build relationship. But always never ever tell people how much to put in.
Right.
Never. Just tell them what you recommend them, what you think is a good idea, but they must still make their own decision. Because we in America, we have an SEC. We have a fintech. This is one of the most regulated countries in the world.
Of course,
you can't just go and do what you want.
You can't do what you want. Exactly.
So we are not going to be answering for anyone's mistakes. You know, we're going to be saying to them, "You do it.
Right.
You see, it's up to you. All we can do is tell you what's in it, what the risks are, and you're prepared to take that risk. It's on you. You know."
Right. Yeah, that's good stuff. And in closing, we did have a guy the other night. He came on. I won't say his name, but he put in like $8,500 he put in. He was very angry. He's like, man, this is a scam, because he put his money in. Then you have this little debacle, this thing that's going on now. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, this thing that's going on now with them. But they cleared it up. But he was so upset, and I couldn't tell him anything because the person who advised him to do it, I guess his upline didn't tell him, hey, listen, only put in the amount you can afford to lose. If you say it to them like that, then they understand, right? But he was just like, I don't know what's going to happen. And I couldn't tell him anything because once the damage is done, that's on you. You know what I mean? And so he did say he didn't want to pay the 12%. I understand all that. But again, Charles came in with a little bit. He saw that it made money, and then he went back and put in more. That's the wise thing to do. Right, Charles? You put in 500, whatever. He saw that the system worked. He put more money in. And that's the way. And he's right, man. Only put in. So all blind witnesses, take your money out as you make it. You make 2,000 or 3,000 in profit, take that money out, because there's no guarantee the company will be tomorrow.
You've already taken out your profit in Aureus in any case.
I did. Oh yes, I have. I put $200 in. I've made 15 grand. 15,000 into my USDT
and the same thing
TRC20.
happened with Charles, when he signs up and people are going to start to see the money coming. Look, your first year, I think the first 2 payouts plus next year by January, you should have got your money back already.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's fantastic. Yeah. So Justin, I'm gonna make sure I put a very urgent headline for people to take action, because again, once it's going, I mean, I don't know anybody that's you can buy shares for $25, $30, $40, $50 a share on gold. Yes. Think about that for a second. Yeah. This is like an anomaly. This is a one-time thing.
It's an anomaly.
It's not something that just shows up every day. And so I tell people, opportunity will last for like a window second, really. If you don't get in, it closes. It does.
But Jimmie, can I ask you something? How much people have you spoken to that understand how shares work?
Right now, probably only 5 or 6 people. Most of these they don't really know. They don't know. They have no clue. But this teaching.
So what does it show you? What does it show you about our education system?
Oh my gosh, it's terrible.
Why is it that schools are not teaching kids about shares and dividends?
I want to say this.
Yeah.
I got guys that's in their 60s.
Yeah.
That's investing in the gold. People that I know that's my age or younger, they didn't want to do it. I'm like,
really?
I got older guys came to me like, Charles, I want to invest in that gold. And they actually execute, and they don't know nothing about crypto. And I actually help them out,
That's good.
To invest. And I'm like, wow, it teaches me too. Like, wow, like people don't really, I mean, I tell my family, friends, certain people about it, flies over their head, but
You see, your what you encounter is a generational gap, man, because the guys that are younger have been opened up to blockchain, and they're into crypto and to buying tokens and shares and coins and that.
Right.
But when you offer them real estate, you tell them Africa. Number one, when they hear the word Africa, they automatically think, "Oh, it's
right.
terrible,"
They don't know.
Africa. Every country, even in Africa, you would have the good sides and the bad sides.
Of course. Okay?
But let me tell you one thing about Africa. If Africa wasn't what it was, then we wouldn't have all the biggest mining conglomerates from Europe.
That's right.
That's right.
They wouldn't be there. They would have been blown up, shut up, and everything. They're still there. They're still there. Oil,
still there.
Everything.
Right.
Still there.
Jimmie told me about he just said a few words to me about Aureus Gold. I didn't have to. He didn't have to say anything else.
Right.
Send it to me now. Like he mentioned, is gold opportunity Africa. Yeah. My wife is from Africa. I literally she just got here last year.
Right.
My wife was excited about the about the opportunity. She invested. She invested as well. But he just told me the few words of it.
Yep.
It's a gold opportunity.
Right.
That's all I needed. I said, let's just send me the information.
Right.
But
Charles, you've written 2 books though. He wrote a book called The Risk Taker and part 2 of The Risk Taker. I mean, his mind is already conditioned for opportunity, success, and things that are uncommon. Wealthy people have an uncommon mindset to say, you know what, I'm not going to think too much about it. I'm already because in school, you're right. The education is about go to school, get an education, work for somebody else. That's what they teach you in America or probably around the world. You're not conditioned stocks and mutual funds. That's the slower ways to get wealthy. But I'm just saying gold and starting a business, they don't teach us that stuff. And so Charles conditioned his own mind for this stuff, man. And I'm so happy for him. I'm so happy for him because 97% of us don't think that way. I've been coaching and teaching people for years how to do it, but maybe 3% of the people actually do what I tell them. I'll let you know how much the school system has gotten to them. It's unfortunate, man, But I'm gonna tell you, y'all who listen to this, you better go get those shares out. I'm telling you, go do it.
That's good, man. Yes.
Go do it. Yeah. So we got to go. All right.
You must sit, you snooze. You
must snooze. Exactly. Yeah. Justin, you did a great job, my man, and I appreciate you both. All right.
All right. Been nice meeting you guys.
You better believe it. And as I always say, I'll see y'all at the top on the next video. Peace and blessings, and we're out. Bye-bye.